Sudan is a multi-ethnic country that is a mixture of Arabs and Negroes, but its people share common cultural heritage. The country has a legacy that goes back deep in history and was confirmed by evidence obtained from archaeological exploration since the beginning of the 20th century. Sudan is located in the northeastern part of North Africa and shares long borders with 7 countries: Ethiopia, Eritrea, Egypt, Chad, Central Africa, Libya, and South Sudan. Sudan is the second largest African country after Algeria and has a population of about 50 million people according to recent estimates released by the United Nations Development Programme in 2024. The Sudanese people are distinguished by their groups of Arabs and African tribes. These tribes speak about 300 languages and dialects, while the official language is Arabic. English is also used as a medium of communication. Agriculture and livestock are major contributors to the economy. Sudan has a vast area of arable land of about 72.5 million hectares, which is about 40% of the total area of Sudan. But what is surprising is that these small areas are exploited, while there is about 23% of the land unexploited. Irrigation and rain-fed irrigation projects are used to cultivate these fertile lands. Rain-fed covers an area estimated at 25%, and the same for irrigated land from rivers and other water sources from the Nile River and its tributaries. The irrigated streams are Jazeera agricultural project that began in 1925, and the New Halfa agricultural project, the Suki agricultural project, and then the Rahad agricultural project. These projects represent 60% of the cultivated land that dependent on irrigation mainly from the Nile River and its branches, and by irrigation from dams or by lifting pumps. Commercial crops were cotton, sesame, groundnuts, and gum arabic. Camels, sheep, goats, and cows are exported in addition to cash crops such as sesame and gum arabic. Sudan's livestock has an added value because they graze in natural pasture, and that makes it preferable for importers in different continents of the world. The country lands are generally flat, with the exception of Jabal Marra, Red Sea Hills, and the Nuba Mountains. Its climate is characterized by the presence of 3 different climatic zones from north to south, ranging from desert to semi-desert and finally to savanna. The plains of Sudan consist of different types of soil, the most important of which are sandy soil in the desert and semi-desert region in the north and western regions of Sudan, which are used in the cultivation of millet, pine nuts, sesame, and hibiscus, and aromatic soil in central and eastern Sudan, which represent the most important areas for growing cotton and rain-fed agriculture, and also represent an important source for forest production, especially firewood and gum arabic. Sudan produces corn as the main food product on this moisture. Crops produced by the mechanized agricultural sector contribute with 64% of the contribution of all crops to the GDP. Animal wealth is considered the most important product in Sudan and is estimated at 107 million heads. The country's wealth includes camels, sheep, cows and goats. All types of livestock are raised and grazed all over the country, particularly Kordofan, Al-Butana, Darfur and Eastern Sudan. Sudan is uniquely distinguished with fruit production. Mango presents 80% of Sudan fruits exports. The annual amount exceeds 3,000 tons per fadan. Mango grows in South Kordofan, Sinnar, Blue Nile, and Northern Sudan. Citrus fruits like orange, lemon, and grapefruit are cultivated in the northern states, River Nile, Kassala, and Khartoum. Sudan citrus fruits has good reputation in international markets in Europe and the Arab countries. This land is rich with minerals and natural resources. Sudan has about 1.5 billion of crude oil according to 2022 estimation. The brown land is rich in large mineral reserves covering an area estimated at 47% of the land. There have been explorations made for precious minerals such as iron, silver, zinc, magnesium, copper and gold. The diversity of Sudan's topography, from desert land to volcanic mountains and hills, has led to a diversity of minerals, especially gold, which is found in high proportions in northern Sudan, from Wadi Halfa to Atbara, the East, West Blue Nile, and Kordofan regions. The country is rich in other minerals such as copper, zinc, magnesium, and iron. The net production of gold is 53 tons per year, and the most production is through what is known as artisanal mining with a limited number of companies. This is the immortal Nile in the legendary march from south to north. It's an eternal journey surrounded by legends. The Nile crosses Sudan from south to north, dividing the land but uniting its people. Surface water covers almost 1 million acres, while the River Nile and its tributaries extend over 2,000 kilometers. Seasonal rivers and water canals run through the land during rainy season, such as El Gash, Arbaat, and Wadi Azoum in Darfur. As for groundwater, the total amount is estimated to be 900 billion cubic meters. There are many dams and reservoirs reserving, storing and organizing water for irrigation and electricity generation. The last among them is Marawi Dam, which was built in the northern state. The blessed land has a strategic location on the coast of the Red Sea, overseeing the roads of international trade. Actually, it's not far from Bab el-Mandeb Strait. That was an added value in the geostrategic consideration. This eagle-eye shot shows the magnificent coastal view on the Red Sea. Sudan's shores are over 700 kilometers long. Here in this coastal line, Sudan has 3 main seaports: Port Sudan, plus the Green Port, Al Khair Seaport, and Osman Digna Port in the historical city of Sawakin. The city is located on the shore of the Red Sea. It contains archaeological sites, and it was once Sudan's main seaport. Industry is progressing well in the recent years. Textile making, fruits and vegetable factories are there. Medium-scale industry are flourishing with the establishment of Jihad Industrial Complex as a unique example for modern industry. The multi-factories produces small vehicles, trucks, and some military equipments and facilities like armored vehicles, tanks, and other light industries. Sudan is the number one of ethanol producers in the Arab world, with more than 65 million liters covering domestic demand, exporting about 90% to the EU and Arab countries. Now Sudan is the second ethanol producer after South Africa. The country is intending to expand ethanol production to be an additional factor for economic growth. Sudan has many sugar factories. Kinana is the famous among them. Sugar production was supposed to rise gradually according to a national plan under implementation. Sudan enjoys a very ancient civilization with distinct archaeological heritage, the thing which makes it a touristic destination to many tourists. So tourism industry is a promising field where investment in touristic services could be an attractive business. The monuments, pyramids, and historical sites are located in Karma. العربية. جبل البركر، النقع والمصورات. And the natural parks in Bimber. And Jabal Marra Hills, where rare endangered species lives. On the Red Sea, there was Arus and Arkwit resorts where diving and swimming sports could be performed. Telecommunication services covers all the main cities. There are 3 mobile phone service providers, namely Sudani, Zain, and MTN. The internet services was introduced in 1997 and it is reasonably good using 4G data packets. That was a glimpse of a large rich country called Sudan. This short film never claims to grasp it. That was a glimpse of a large and rich country called Sudan. This short film never claims to grasp its essence or capture the real picture. What we hope is to attract your attention and catch your eyes to see the vivid image of a nation aspiring to touch the sky.